Alex Lima's in the house, an accomplished fighter. He's champion in his own right. Black Belt Fitness is the name of his company. It's not only the name of your company, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts, but it's the way that you do business. It's the way that you train.
Yeah, I try to. I emphasize that it truly isn't just a business; it's a lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's a lifestyle. So the Black Belt lifestyle, so it's more than just working out. I mean, it's the way we treat each other, the amount of, kind of like a modern day samurai, like your respect, your honor, integrity, things that I personally feel are lost a lot in today's society. They're just, they're not there.
It really is. With the rise of the internet and the ability to send an instant message or to comment on somebody's post with some negativity.
We're so detached. We're so detached from each other. I mean, you see it, you go out to eat and a family of, 6 people are together. There's maybe 1 or 2 of them conversing while everybody else is on their phone or something like that. So when you go out and train in like a group environment, especially what we do that's so hands-on and you have to work with a partner, you get a bonding experience out of it too.
Right.
So it's even better when it's family training together, but you become a family too through training.
Yeah, it's really cool. And just the ability, I sometimes tell a story, as an 8th grader, I got into USA wrestling, and then going into 9th grade, I kind of finally hit, a bit of a growth spurt going into my sophomore year. But I believe a combination of just being a little bit bigger, and it's such an impact when you're in those adolescent years, but learning how to grapple, learning how to, who cares if the guy's 40, 50 pounds bigger than me? I know how to control my hands. I know how to take him down. I can take him to the ground. I know I'm pretty confident. Just the level of confidence that you're able to grab as an adolescent when you learn some of these skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes to grappling. Because when it comes to striking, obviously, if you're in a power battle with someone that's bigger than you. Mm-hmm. When it comes to grappling, you can kind of nullify that. You take Mike Tyson down to the ground, he can't create the torque and punching power that he can when he's standing. So there's an interesting meme of like a really small grappling practitioner and a really big one facing each other. Yeah. And the average person would look at that giant and be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then a skilled grappler is going to look and go, all right, interesting.
Yeah, you're going to love
let's play now.
I always thought that would have been such a cool thing to see is Mike Tyson
transition to something like that.
Transition into some MMA and fighting some guys.
Or like a Manny Pacquiao, the great athletes like that. But they're such specialists, to do it now would be harmful to their image because they're specialists in that. But,
exactly.
There's a great I don't know if you're familiar with Lomachenko.
Sounds familiar.
Vasil Lomachenko. The guy's a beast if you guys get a chance to check him out. But he actually, Vasil Lomachenko.
Wow.
And he's probably one of the nastiest boxers I've ever seen. But he also has a grappling background. He has a sambo background. Wow. So he would be good to transition to mixed martial arts because he's played a little bit in that world already. So it's not completely foreign to him.
Yeah.
So some athletes can do it. They can cross over.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know if you guys remember when James Toney tried to do a UFC fight, the boxer James Toney.
I remember that a little bit.
It was absolutely horrendous.
What about racquetball then?
Racquetball, yeah, man. Hey, with
I can transition
with the right coach, we can get it happening.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll tell you what, racquetball is a bit of a workout. I've been playing with him.
No doubt. You need footwork, hand-eye coordination. I believe in cross-training different sports. 100%.
Absolutely. And that's a big point. By the way, if you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts. We got William Crowley in the house as well, credit restoration expert. When I look back to training and when I've been in the best shape, obviously football and weight training when I was in that regimen and I had to run the 16 110s every day at the end of the practice. But going into life when you start balancing family and kids and business with that, I love the idea of boxing one day, the next day, who likes to be on a treadmill, right?
Yeah.
But mixing it up, doing some boxing,
Keeps
doing
it
the next day
interesting and
playing some
exciting.
football. Yeah, exactly.
It's easy to be motivated to train when it's exciting to you. But I think what a lot of people rely too much on motivation to get them through their training and achieving their body goals, when really it's discipline that's going to get you through.
Yeah.
Discipline will take you much further than motivation, because I don't care how motivated you are, we're not always on fire like that.
Yeah.
We're not always motivated 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So you have to be disciplined on those days that you're not motivated to come in and do that work anyways.
Yeah, by the way, the definition of discipline is the ability to make yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. And too many times people let their feelings get in the way, or other people's feelings on why they should or should not do something. And motivation, the root word of motivation is motive. What's your motive behind it? And I know you talk to people about that as well, finding your why.
Absolutely. You have to have a why. You have to have a purpose. But even more important than that, you have to constantly be able to remind yourself of your why. Because we can easily lose track of our why. How many people do you know start something that they're super motivated for the first couple weeks, first couple months,
Yep.
especially when you're an entrepreneur starting your business. You're fired up because it's exciting to you.
Yep.
But you have to have the discipline to keep going even on those months and days when your business is not doing so well.
Yeah.
To keep it going, to make it thrive in the long run, because it's a marathon, not a sprint.
One thing that I got from Tony Robbins, I'm wearing his Business Mastery shirt, by the way, is incantations. And I've been using them for years. Even Les Brown, one of my favorites is Les Brown too. But the incantations, when you have those days, you're getting beat up on the phone with sales. You get so many no's in sales, and you're just looking for that one yes, because that one yes could be a $10,000, $15,000 deal in the real estate world, right? But the things that have really helped me through the years is having those incantations ready. And then it's when I wake up, or when I'm, doing whatever, walking from one room to the next, or I take a time out during the day, and I literally say my incantations to myself. Sometimes not as much verbally, but even in my mind. I'm just going through them in my mind. Develop those incantations. It really helps a lot.
I'm a firm believer in that. I'm a firm believer in affirmations. When I compete, I actually have things that I listen to and little like meditations and things that I go through. And even during a fight, I have these things that I'm saying to myself inside of my head, whether I'm winning or if I'm on the downside of this battle here. I have little things that I say to myself. I can't repeat some of them, but I have things that I say to myself to be like, yo, you better get up. Let's keep going. This isn't over yet.
Because how much of fighting or competition when it comes to martial arts is, how much of it is the physical game versus the mental game?
I always say it's 80% mental, 20% physical.
Yeah.
It's an 80-20 principle.
Yeah. Because if you're, some things I've been doing, you point out to me as a great coach, you teach that is, I'm not breathing enough in certain, moves and things like that. And that right there, if you're not breathing enough, you're not getting the right oxygen in, your body's not going to perform optimal.
Well, and you can't think properly either. You're not mentally in sync. You're not getting proper oxygenation and perfusion to your brain in order for you to function at a high level.
Yeah. And I think that's a challenge that I've noticed, with myself, just picking up training. And, sometimes you get too much into the action and you're not doing the simple thing of breathing, the subconscious thing, right?
Everyone does it, even at the fighters at the highest level. I even have to remind myself, and that's where a good coach comes into play, because they're looking from the outside in, because you may think, man, I'm killing this. Yeah. But I see you. I know you can be doing better.
Well, we come back from break. I want to ask you your top 5 MMA fighters of all times. I'm going to give you some time to think about that one. William, do you walk BlackBelt Fitness in studio? So before the break, I kind of teed you up with a hard question there.
It's a super difficult question, because I tell you that I go through phases. And to be honest with you, as far as like a mixed martial artist, there's only one person that I really think is like the epitome of mixed martial arts that I think has had the greatest influence. Other than that, I focus on specialists. Like I like who's the best at Dutch style kickboxing, who's the greatest at jiu-jitsu, who can implement that style of game against a mixed martial arts situation, because that's a true specialist. But as far as my number one pick, most people wouldn't even know if this person's a mixed martial artist, is Bruce Lee.
Ah, okay.
He was in my opinion, he's the godfather of mixed martial arts.
That's what I was about to say.
He was the first one to put it all together. If you guys rewatch, I know the last time you watched Enter the Dragon, but if you rewatch Enter the Dragon, opening scene, he's in a mixed martial arts fight, and he actually wins by armbar. Wow. Before they in the temple, like with the monks and stuff that he's fighting with, he wins by armbar. Yeah, it's great. That's cool. And he's wearing like the boxing gloves, but they have the fingers, so he's able to punch and grapple. So it's like it's your first depiction of like what the UFC would eventually become.
Was that a movie or was that a real deal fight?
That was a movie. So that was fictitious. But I read his book years ago. It's called The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, which is the way of his fighting style. And it's a complete manual. It's dated, mind you, because it was written in the 70s or whatever. But it's a complete manual of mixed martial arts. He was the first person to be like, you have to know how to box, you have to know how to wrestle, you have to know how to kick, you got to know all these things. He used to stretch. I've read a lot on him, obviously. But he used to stretch watching Muhammad Ali fight footage. And his wife would walk in and be like, why are you watching this? He goes, in case I ever have to fight him one day. So he would study his movements, and you watch how Bruce Lee does that little back step. He moves just like Muhammad Ali. Like he was studying. He was the first person to study the bigger picture. It's impressive.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then you have different, like, sports, for example, as time goes by and the defenders learn how to defend, you have these natural progressions and transformations. For example, back in the day when I was playing ball, when you threw a fade route, you'd throw it to the front shoulder. Now they're throwing these back shoulder fades, which is virtually there's no way to really defend that as
different now.
as a cornerback, as a defensive back. Sorry to the folks out there that don't understand the lingo here, but yeah. So we're talking with Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts here, and a
lot of, I don't know if people know this too, but a lot of football players now, in the NFL, college level, high school even, during the off season, they're training mixed martial arts. They're doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling to learn how to hand fight. Because how do you break through that line? How do you get the offensive line and defensive line? They hand fight. They battle with each other to break through. It's the same as getting through to break through the hands to score a takedown.
Yeah.
So they've recognized the cross training.
Push on one shoulder, expecting them to push back.
Off balancing.
And when they do, you kind of let it go. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, more from our expert contributors, and I want to go back to Alex Lima here, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts. What is a call to action, or someone where you want people to reach out, or maybe to come in and train with you? What type of referrals are you looking for out there?
I mean, anybody and everybody. I train everyone. I've worked with athletes. I've worked with pro fighters. I've worked with, a lot of people don't know, I've worked with handicapped people as well. We just did last month. We did something with Gigi's Playhouse, which is a center for adults and children with Down syndrome specifically. But I've worked with deaf people. I've worked with people in wheelchairs, disabilities. Like, I see no limits as to who can come and train. Like, you see, even if you come in with some sort of injury or something, we can train around your injury.
Right.
Everybody can experience this lifestyle and enjoy these things. They can learn some self-defense methods and also have a good time getting a sweat on, training differently. Because you see, we don't train like you do like when you go to like a commercial gym. You do some wild stuff.
Yeah, it's fun.
But it's functional. It's all functional training. So anyone, you can call us, 813-426-1588. You can look us up online, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts Club. We also have a Groupon going on. That's a great deal. I think it's like $19 for an entire week of training. You can come to everything that's on our schedule.
Wow.
Or I believe for $49 for my adults, we have 2 weeks of training, and you get a private lesson for that.
Wow.
That's a ridiculous price. You're not going to find that anywhere else.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. All right, let's do some top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. William Crowley, the credit man.
Remember now, credit reporting agencies credit repair companies don't actually raise scores. What they're doing is that they're benefiting the score by removing the negative information. Your existing positive information is what's going to determine that new score.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. Get the score increased
by removing the negative information off your credit report. And your existing positive will raise that score. Because a lot of credit repair companies say that they're raising a score. Even my website, I hate my website, but it says raise our score, and I have to really explain that. We're raising it, but we're raising it indirectly using the force of the Fair Credit Reporting Act to remove negative information.
I like that.
Yeah.
Staying positive or staying current on those accounts are going to be a big impact.
Exactly.
Yep. Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness.
So I have two. So one would be the change that you wish to see in the world.
Yeah.
I believe Gandhi said that.
Yeah.
And, where everybody talks about all the problems and stuff that we have in the world, and they piss and moan about it, but who's really taking action and doing something about it? It starts with you being the example, being the type of person that this world deserves to have. Good people, taking care of the planet, things like that.
That's right.
My other tidbit of advice, kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum, is to eat clean, train hard, and don't let anybody take your lunch money.
Yeah.
You open up that can if you need to.
I like that. I like that. So when you say eat clean, what's some just general? I know there's so many different diets out there. There's so many different, especially when it comes into the commercial space, people looking to make money on this type of diet, the Atkins diet. Cut out all your carbs, but you can eat as much fat and protein. Like, some of those things are just not good long term, right?
No, they're not. And that's great for a whole nother segment one day to do just about diet and stuff alone.
Yeah.
But typically, like, I don't prescribe like a set diet. I give people guidelines and protocols to follow when I'm training people, because everybody is different. You have different nutritional needs for your fitness goals than he would for, doing racquetball and stuff like that, versus what I need for going for competition and things like that, versus the person that's just trying to lose a little bit of weight because they have a wedding in June that they're going to go to.
Right.
So, there's a wide spectrum, but basic stuff that we all know. Fried foods are not good for us. Too much sweets is not good for us. Too much alcohol consumption. If it comes in a box and it has a bunch of chemicals in it that you can't pronounce, probably shouldn't be putting it in your body. You know what I'm saying? Just simple stuff like this that we know a lot. We just don't take the action and apply it. But part of that is maybe a lack of education on the subject matter, and that's where I would come in as a coach to help guide you on that journey.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah, even Tony Robbins even talks about a body cancer cannot survive in a body that's alkaline. I think that's so overlooked is when you eat green leafy meals or even carrots, or they say eat from the rainbow, right?
Which is what we're intended to eat.
Yeah. When you eat those, it makes your body in an alkaline state to where those types of cancers, they cannot survive. And on the flip side, when you eat the cookies and the starches and all that, it's going to fuel.
It'll
the cancer.
thrive in that environment because it's a junk environment. You're a host now for
it's acidic.
Toxins, and absolutely.
That's right. So you're in an acidic state. So that's what's going to keep you, in the hospital in many cases. People that can't make those changes.
Shorten your lifespan, not a good quality of life. I mean, there's a lot of repercussions.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness, currently located on Waters Avenue.
5638 West Waters Avenue.
West Waters Avenue, conveniently located right there, just east of the Veterans Expressway.
Yep.
So he's got a great gym, dojo. What do you call that?
We call it the dojo, the training room, the dojo,
Cool.
Which is just Japanese for training room.
I like that. I like that. William Crowley, the credit man. He can come meet with you. You can meet with him at a any kind of a Starbucks location or anything like that. Make house calls, go to your business. All right. Hey, good stuff, guys. Thanks so much. Another great show today. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Pack up some food or clothing. Carry it with you to and from your commute. Hand it to that person that you see in need, and be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another. Donate some blood. There's lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. And continue to tune into our show right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter. The podcast out there is awesome. Some great content as well. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show. Weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.